I'm here in Austin, and it is an incredibly cold day. So cold. But I know it's going to get warmer than Canada, so it's totally fine. You don't need a new funnel. I wanted to jump on and make this video that you actually don't need a new funnel, and I'm going to explain what that means. You really just need to optimize the one that you're already doing. So I talked to a lot of people last year. It's the beginning of 2025 right now. Last year in 2024, when I was talking to people about their marketing funnels and their just generally what they're doing on social media, a lot of people feel like they need a new funnel. Like they need to add in stuff, or they need to make big drastic changes in terms of how they are getting customers and converting them into what they're doing. So, and if you don't know the term funnel, I mean, a lot of people do, but I think there's still a lot of misconception about what funnel is. Some people are like, oh, it's the software that you use, or like they'll say, oh, there's no funnel. They just send people to this landing page and people buy a book. That's still a funnel. Anything that takes someone from never having heard about you before to buying a product is the funnel. And you can't really have a business without a funnel. It doesn't matter if you are setting up a trade show booth, at a live event, or if you are running people through a webinar, you have some kind of funnel. So most people, not most people, but a lot of people, because I do this a lot, they're like, okay, we've got to make our funnel more steps. We've got to add things to the value ladder. We've got to tack stuff on. We've got to, change up how we're doing our ads. I mean, sometimes that's true, but for the most part, it is better that you spend time optimizing the funnel that you have than trying to build a new one. You can obviously add things into it. Like for instance, if you're not doing any email, maybe you want to add some email. If you're not doing any paid traffic, maybe you want to add some paid traffic, but you've got to add the right paid traffic. Not all paid traffic is created equal. Facebook and Instagram ads is fundamentally different than Google and YouTube ads for the most part, right? So when it comes to optimizing your funnel, it's better to basically just keep working on what you already have set up. Like when I jump on with someone and like we're going into a building their funnel call, which is basically the first thing that I do when I work with people, is like we get on and talk about their funnel. I don't want to change that much. I want to work with what's already working. So if you tell me that you're already posting on social and people are messaging you and you're getting on a phone call, then that's the funnel. And we're going to keep that. And we're going to see what we can do to just make that better. This isn't about adding in a ton of different things and trying to make it 10 times more complicated and any of that stuff, because I think that's what sometimes people will do, thinking that it's going to help. Like I had a client this year, well, I'm still working with them, but they're like, oh, we should make this new, they basically wanted to build an entirely new funnel. And I'm like, no, we still have work to do on the funnel that you're running right now. Like we still have optimizations to do, right? And so before you throw it all out, throw out everything that you're doing, what's best to do is say, what could be better about this exactly as it is? It's so cold. My lips are getting dry. What could be better about this exactly as it is? Maybe it's the style of content that you're doing, and that's what needs to change or could change to bring more people in, make more sales. Obviously each funnel has its own KPIs. Usually we measure them in sales, but different things may be required. Like depending on what you're doing, you might have different KPIs that you're working with, but within those KPIs, the data is going to be there to tell you what you need to do, right? Occasionally you will add something totally new. For instance, we added a ManyChat sequence to this funnel, i.e. so she would post on Instagram and then say, leave a comment, and then people would get an automated message, and then that comment, and then that automated message would lead to a registration page, right? And we did really well with that, like over 10,000 registrants in less than a week, and she didn't really have to do that much other than just make a reel, right? But that's all going to depend on how many followers you have and sort of what you're trying to sell and what you're trying to do. But my main point with this video is you don't need to add in a lot of things to your funnel to make it better. Sometimes you just need to tweak Well, most of the time, honestly, you just need to tweak what you're already doing. So for instance, maybe it's telling more stories in your content. Maybe it's the platform that you're using and how you're using it. Maybe it's the follow-up sequence that you have in terms of like how you talk to people that are already in your middle of funnel. Like, again, are you sending emails or not? Things like that. And then, even with your ads, it's like maybe use the same platform, and honestly, even you keep the same budget, but the messaging that you have in those ads, maybe that's the difference. Maybe it's about how many angles you're putting out and how many, just how much messaging you're testing. Because some people are like, oh, my ads aren't working. Maybe I should do something totally different. And it's like, no, maybe you just need to put a new image in the ad and have some different messaging going out, right? So all this to say, in 2025, my big suggestion for the way in which you are getting customers on the internet is to not make any drastic changes, but instead try and get better at what is already working and that you're already doing, and put all your attention there. I've seen it work for many, many people. I've seen it work for myself. It's what I'm doing this year. Like, I'm going to add a few more trainings in and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not changing up that much stuff. So again, big suggestion would be optimize what you're already doing. Unless you really need something new, don't do it. And if you want to talk about it, if you need something new, feel free to reach out. But mostly stick to what has worked. Stick to what is already working and just make it better. Small tweaks here and there, small messaging tweaks. Maybe there's some design tweaks you need to make. Maybe again, it's some angles in your ads, or it's the way in which you're engaging in your follow-up. All right, hopefully this helped. See you in another one.